ask you one question here?
Yeah.
What did British see in Manipur land that they wanted to conquer it? Because was it only just a territorial expansion, or did they have some resources or anything of value?
Manipur is rich in resources and it's also a big territory. It also gives them, more, there was a great game being played in the north, in Tibet and Central Asia. So they also wanted to, let's say, create a larger zone of influence and keep the Chinese away on one side, keep the Russians away from the Tibet side and all that. There's a bigger game, bigger geopolitical game being played, which also was one of the factors in the partition of India and the creation of Pakistan. There was a geopolitical game in that also, but I'll not go there right now. Okay. So Manipur was valuable. Manipur was a large and valuable territory from a territorial point of view and also from a resources point of view. I'm not sure if the British extracted too many resources from Manipur, but it helped them in consolidating this part of India, which also helped them to strengthen their eventual rule in Burma, because they conquered Burma also, right?
Okay. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So there is the Anglo-Manipuri War. The Manipuri king loses. He's sent to Kalapani. No one knows what happened. Till today, we don't know. And the British take over the rule of Manipur. Then what they do is they punish the Meiteis by confining them to the 6% land in Manipur. Okay? So the Meiteis are the ones who fought the British. Some Nagas also fought. Nobody else fought. The Kukis did not fight. Okay? Some allegations. Today there are some so-called scholars from JNU, whatever, who have created this new fiction of an Anglo-Kuki war. No such thing ever happened. Okay. There was no Anglo-Kuki war. It's fiction. It's a revisionist history. No such thing happened. So the Meiteis fought the British. They fought valiantly. They fought bravely, but they lost. And the fault of the decline of Manipur lies in the policies of King Bhagyachandra. He may be a great king. They call him Rajarshi Bhagyachandra, great patron of culture. What is the point of culture if you can't defend your land?
Yeah.
There is a lesson that all of India needs to learn. Take Manipur as a case study, and there are other case studies in India, plenty. What's the point of great culture? What's the point of great wealth if you can't defend it? If you can't do a clear succession between one king to another, from one king to another. The critical juncture in any kingdom or empire or nation is the transfer of power from one king or one ruler to another. Critical juncture. So if the transfer of power is not done properly, or if the wrong person comes to power, everything is destroyed. So that was the critical problem. King Bhagyachandra was a great patron of culture, but he kind of disregarded the armed forces and he messed up the succession after him. So the British, what they do after winning the war in 1891 is they punish the Meiteis by confining them forcibly to the Imphal Valley region, the 6% territory of Manipur. They are not allowed to settle anywhere else. Okay, so the northern part of Manipur is given to the Nagas. You guys got to do whatever you want. And then they start the Christianization process. Oh. Today, by 1980 or something, most of the Naga population had become Christian. And there is this place called Mizoram. The Mizo people are ethnically the same as the Kukis. Okay? And that land, Mizoram, was once the tribal population was there once, non-Mizo, the original natives, the Bru people and the Ryang people and whatnot, they have all been displaced and ethnically cleansed, thrown out of their own land. And today you have a Mizo population there. They are also now all Christianized. This Christianization of the Mizo people began in the early 20th century. There is a famine that happens every 16 years or whatever, Motam famine, the flowering of a certain species of bamboo. And the British had created this inner line permit system, which means that nobody from within these regions could go outside. Okay. And nobody from outside other parts of India could come in here. So when there is a famine, these people need to go somewhere to get food, but they're not allowed to do that. So they're starving. And then the British said, okay, we'll give you rice, but you must convert.
That's why the rice bag.
The rice
comes in.
The association of rice with Christianity starts in China. The Chinese created this term, rice Christians, during the Opium Wars and before the Opium Wars. The Chinese wrote that. Even the Japanese wrote that. Indians, they caught on to this much later. Look at Chinese literature. I can send you the links, please, and all that. The Chinese wrote about rice Christians in the mid 19th century. So the British had these policies. The missionaries, they would convert people.
Meiteis did not convert to Christianity?
Because they were Hindus. Hindus are the last to convert always. Today, I think about
But Nagas, you said, are also similar.
So Nagas also had the similar culture to the Meiteis before Christianity, but they did not see themselves as a great civilization or empire.
So they were not Hindus per se.
And they were all isolated in different tribes in the hills and mountains. So they were easy to separate, divide and rule. That's what that was done.
Okay.
You could say they were also Hindus. They were also polytheists, the Nagas.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how it was. So the Meiteis were punished. The Kukis were then brought in large numbers in the south part of Manipur. And then there were clashes between the Kukis and the Nagas who used to live there. And the Nagas were ethnically cleansed from southern Manipur brutally by the Kukis. This is before independence, before 1947.
Okay.
After 1947, okay? After 1947, the government of India, which was clueless about the far east of India, we call it northeast, it's actually the far east of India. The Indian government, the Nehruvian government, and its successors were absolutely clueless about this region of India. They had no understanding of the local customs, of the people, of the history. So what they did was, let us faithfully reproduce what the British were doing and continue that. So they continued the same policies. They still kept on bringing people from Burma across the border and settling them in southern Manipur. We have documentary evidence of this. Okay, bringing in people from southern Burma and settling them in the territory of Manipur. And the Indian government continued the practice of forcing the Meiteis to live within the 6% territory of Manipur, the Imphal Valley. This is just as bad as Kashmir.